Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Baker Mayfield, the Bucks, Week 15. Mike Evans rolling, fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content, very similar to the extra special counter clinic here at the end of this thing. So if you dig that kind of in-depth, nuanced, detailed take about not only quarterback play, but high-level offense and defensive football, you'll love the Quarterback School Patreon community. Hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. Again, as a reminder, stick around at the end, a little extra bonus counter clinic for you. So hope you enjoy it. As for this video, let's get into it. Baker Mayfield, the Bucks, have yourself a day. 4 touchdowns, 40 burger. Start down here to the bottom. No, beautiful job getting back to the backside in up top. Outstanding base, timing, rhythm. Love the idea of trying to get the ball to Mike Evans to the left. Not there. Boom. Right back, left to right. You got the left guard right in your lap getting dump trucked, and you do a great job of keeping your base and ripping that thing to the bottom. So what's going on here? Right at the snap, we are going to try to get the ball right here. Okay, it's not there with whatever this is to the flat. Okay, they do a good job defensively matching to this thing. So we go from that to up top trying to work the backside in. So just a simple 1 to 2, and it looks easy on a screen. But the thing I want you to pay attention to here is the footwork from Baker. So he says no down here, and he's able to keep his base as he transitions through the read. So he doesn't get sloppy. There's not a lot of wasted movement. This thing is super efficient. Boom. Wow. Again, it's really nice because you can see it as his feet are a yard apart here on the yard markers. Boom. Excellent base. Come back, rip that thing right between the hashes. Hell yes. So just super efficient. Really looks like he's in command, has answers to the test, trying to do the right thing. Right back. And again, it's not 7-on-7. Okay, watch the left guard. Okay, we're getting overwhelmed right at our feet, rolled up on, throw a dot, first down, let's go. Next one here, 3rd and 4. The first of 4 touchdown passes. This is a beautiful one down here to the number 3 to the bottom. We're going to end up getting a little pick on the number 3 defender. This is just excellent execution. This is scheming someone open, no one within 5 yards of him. Easy touchdown pass, could kick it to him. Okay, again, I love the design. We're able to find the one-on-one, get the rub, get the match, and that is wide ass open. Great job here, scheme-wise. So what's going on? Right here. You can tell here with this little back and forth with the motion, they're just rock and rolling these safeties. Whatever side the back is on, that guy's going to come down, and the other one's going to go back to the middle of the field. So they're playing man coverage everywhere else. So down here to the bottom of the screen, because we've got this man coverage on, we're going to essentially get 2 rubs. So whether this is a wrap and this is a little pivot or whatever you want to call this, it operates as these 2 eligibles taking their 2 defenders with them, kind of 4 moving picks, as this defender tries to navigate what I'm going to call like a little rub rail. So he sets it for a second, and then he comes off of this thing. And this is just way too much traffic for this guy to try to navigate to and stick with this rail. So it's just a really nice job. Keep your eyes right here and watch the difficulty that he has navigating these kind of 4 moving picks, accidental rubs on purpose. Right? Got him. Right? And again, even if it wasn't there, so say he sorted it out, watch Mike Evans on the wrap at the bottom. Okay, we got all sorts of answers all over the place. That is just beautiful scheme, excellent execution. Love the attention to detail here to get the rub, kind of out of a little bit of an exotic, dirty bunch, trip set. That's just beautiful. Too good. Next one here, 3rd and 3. This kind of becomes the Mike Evans show at this point. I'm not sure if the Chargers were unfamiliar with Mike or what, but he's going to shift down here to the bottom, become the new number 1. He's going to run what I'm used to calling a short post. It's really just kind of a slant. He wins. Too easy versus that leverage. Too big, too strong, too good. And again, the plan for Evans was, essentially non-existent. but Baker just kept going to him. They kept finding ways to make it happen. You know, the plays get bigger and bigger. That's one of those throws where you can't throw it fast enough because you just can't believe that that's how they're going to play him on third and shortish. So watch him come across. I'll draw up what I'm used to calling short post. And again, there's lots of different terms for this play in the league, but essentially the inside guy is going to kind of run this shallow gather. We're really not trying. It can be a little confusing to people who think, hey, that kind of looks like double slant. It's really not double slant. Double slant to me is more one-step dart, and we're running true kind of slant out here. Short post to me is we're going to try to gather the inside defender with this kind of shallow or two gather, and then we're going to run that kind of short post, a little bit longer slant, give him time to work. And again, if you catch outside leverage versus this with a condensed split, this is stealing, especially versus middle field open, or there's nobody back there, there's no lurker to kind of take his head off. This is just too easy. So watch the leverage down here to the bottom on Mike. Outside leverage, got him. Again, it's just that's as easy as it gets on third down in the league. Throw it to your number one guy. He wins with the correct leverage. Let's go. Keep it going. And again, Baker just seeming to have all the answers. You got to also love the design, the offensive architecture. They're going to find ways to get him the ball. Him being Mike Evans right here, they can't get the correct leverage. That is too easy. I mean, look at that space. Perfectly thrown right up on his chin. First down. Let's go. Next one here, 1st and 10, balls at midfield. We're going to rip the seam down here to the bottom. And the Chargers can't get lined up. This essentially looks like all go up until it turns into kind of hinges on the outside. This is a really nice job from Baker. I'm not sure exactly how he got to this. It ends up working out pretty well. Seam, I think of this kind of play, and we'll talk about exactly how we get there from the wide. But how this thing plays out, how it presents to the defense is 2x2 4 verticals. So seam, here's seam, and then this is what it looks like to the defense. Now they end up running what I'm calling hinges, where they fall out, open inside and fall out. And then we get a check down out of this. So normally, I would say, let's talk through kind of seams, hinges. Normally, versus this type of shell, you know, I'm immediately thinking check down, if I'm being honest with you. This is a glorified screen to me in my mind. Now, if we catch some iteration of quarter, quarter, half, so you know this is quarters, well, then I kind of like the hinge a little bit. So we can take a field hinge if we like it and the flat defender doesn't run out underneath it. You know, if you know for sure that it's quarter, quarter, and then some iteration of cloud or half field here, whether this is palms, read, whatever, okay, now we can start to say, let's play this. I'm not sure how Baker knew that, but if that's the case and we get seam, then potentially we have this seam hole because of where the depth of the safety. But a true kind of quarters safety here makes this seem a very tough look. So if he knows it's half field, good for Baker. And we'll say he does. I think the thing that makes this even easier is the fact that they really can't get lined up. And I want you to watch the two, what I'll call flat defenders here. Watch the difference. I'm used to, I think most teams in traditional, whether you want to call it quarter, quarter, half, middle field open defense, will make these seams a lot harder on a quarterback if they get a reroute. So meaning hands-on, make him kind of reroute his route to then adjust back into the seam. If you don't get hands-on, especially a wide receiver type, this is really too easy for NFL quarterbacks. Throwing a seam versus a half field safety with this kind of space. So again, just watch the difference here as far as the technique. First, we'll watch up here. He'll get the reroute on the tight end. And then we'll watch the bottom and we get no reroute. So up top, reroute. There it is, hands-on. Just that little bit. Doesn't have to be a bench press, just hands-on. Now watch down here to the bottom. No hands-on. That's too easy. Now again, it's a really nice throw from Baker, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how he necessarily knows from that shell that that's not true quarters. Maybe just the depth of the safety, but the other safety is even deeper playing quarters. So good for him for finding it, making it work. Again, I think that there's part of Baker's game when you watch the film that I can acknowledge this is a very good throw. This is a good read. I'm not sure how he gets there. In fact, I want to say he looks right to left here, where he almost says right seam, left seam, rip it. Now, maybe he's just looking off. Again, the reason you wouldn't want to look off on middle field open play, so let's pretend like we can see both safeties. The reason why you wouldn't want to look off and say, hey, I'm going to try to throw this seam and I want to look this way and I really want to come back and rip this seam versus middle field open is because you're going to take these guys this way. And that's going to take them into the seam, right? If it's middle field closed, so there's a post safety, then you want to look off to rip a seam. So again, part of this film for me is acknowledging, hey, Baker's rolling. Great statistical day. There are some throws here that I think are tough to duplicate and some throws that are a little bit lucky later to not be intercepted. This is one of those ones where I can acknowledge this is a hell of a throw. I'm not sure how he got there. I'm glad he did. I would say most people would throw it to the back. So hitch, don't like it, back. Next one here, 3rd and 12. We're going to get a big completion up top to the number 1. I'll call it dagger. Now the throw is certainly not perfect, a little bit behind him. It probably could be an even better play with a better throw that allows for some yak. But still, this is 3rd and 12. The Bucs are making this look easy. They are dialing up some winners all over the place. Now, I think when you look at the film, you'll probably recognize that the Chargers probably aren't helping themselves with how they're matching these things up. And I'm going to guess that there's probably a mistake here. But this is 3rd and 12. You're going to run what I'm used to calling like a clear post with an in. Just a simple version of dagger. I think down here to the bottom, Evans runs like a deep curl. So I'm going to call this some version of brackets with how this thing kind of gets sorted out. We end up running with the vertical of number 2. That takes the safety with us. And now we've got this corner who's outside leverage on an in with no one in the middle of the field. You might say, well, why the hell is there no one in the middle of the field? There's no one in the middle of the field because I'm going to say that the Chargers make a mistake here. And as we get this kind of check outlet, they've got 2 backer types going to the back. So probably one of these guys is supposed to be hanging in the hook. Again, only they know their rules. Usually you don't want to double team a check down and leave the middle of the field wide ass open on 3rd and 12. So again, we can acknowledge the defense has probably got some holes or blind spots. Watch the back. See the back get matched to twice. Now maybe he's matching to the tight end, which is probably the case. So I take that back as far as being a mistake. If they're running some version of balloon here, okay, and they've got a match, he's matching to the back and he's matching to the tight end, well, then that's going to take that thing out there. They're going to open that thing up. And now we're essentially at the end of the day, because of the design of the rest of the play, it's this guy running a deep in with outside leverage and no other defenders there to help him because he's running with the inside vertical of number 2. He's matching to the tight end. He's matching to the back. These 2 are double and Mike down here to the bottom. So again, it's just great scheme. It's outstanding scheme. It's a nice job by Baker getting it to him. Again, a better throw here probably allows even a better play, meaning some yak and maybe even a touchdown. I would say this is not my favorite Baker rhythm at the top of this drop. So watch him. Like there's a lot of unnecessary movement here where if he could just right there, hit the back of your drop, tight hitch, throw it. He takes kind of an extra shuffle, extra hitch there. Just be totally under control, in rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hitch, throw. Put it right where you want. And I think you can see kind of the extra moving, whether that's kind of that bouncing up and down that Baker does sometimes in the drop, where you can see him at the back. Just be in rhythm, trust the timing, trust your footwork, trust the depth of the wide receiver. Again, you tell me, does that look like he's smooth at the back of his drop? And maybe he can't see and he's trying to like get a lane around his guy in front of him. And again, the throw kind of slows him up and is a little bit behind him because that's got a chance to score. If he puts it right on him, he turns it up quickly, that's got a chance to get right at the goal line. Next one, interception. This is a bummer. Okay, so this is a play action dagger up top to Mike Evans. Now, I'm going to call this a dagger. Okay, obviously I'm not in the huddle. Obviously, I don't know exactly how they're calling it, reading it. I'm just going to talk about how most often this is universally played, especially off play action, because there's a few things here that I want to talk through. And I acknowledge the fact that I don't have the answers. I'm just going to tell you how I think it's most often done. So first here, the ball is on the 30. Okay, so let me tell you what I think happens. Okay, the ball's on the 30. So this is really easy for wide receivers. Most often in the league, a deep in is 20 yards. So it's well off the screen. Pretend like this is the 50. You would want to carve this thing backwards like that. That's kind of what the route looks like. And it's super hard to do. You're running 1,000 miles an hour. You tight turn this thing and anti-interception it back. Okay, so that's the first part. I think the depth is wrong. So even my drawing's not to scale, right? The map is not the territory. So pretend like he gets to 20 with that clear. I think that times up more traditionally than what they run here. So what they run here is kind of like a mini dagger. And he mini daggers, and then he kind of drifts in here like a banana. And that's why this corner can then come off and underneath and pick it. Now, the reason you don't run a lot of mini dagger like this is because it doesn't allow you to get depth from the second level. So if Mike were to run what I would consider the traditional top of this route in a mini dagger, meaning he comes up and like carves this thing down to not allow it to be undercut from the corner, so he can't undercut it, he's going to get hit from a second level. Why? Because he's not at the correct depth. And again, only they know what the install said. Did their install say 12 yards? Maybe. Did it say 20? It probably said 18 to 20. So again, the depth of this thing, and all that sounds like a hell of a lot of excuses for Baker. And I acknowledge that's true, but we're relying on the wide receivers to be where they're supposed to be and not fool the quarterback. So the guy can be a Hall of Famer. He can be a hell of a wide receiver. He can have a hell of a day, and he can also do this. So the ball's on the 30. We start breaking down before the 40. So again, even if he were to run what I would consider the perfect top of this route, this short, and he carves this thing down like this, he's going to run in and get collision with the second layer. But because he drifts like this, we're easily undercut, and now it's a wrap. And he's going to, it's all off. And there's just no, I don't think there's any way that you would speed up this intermediate kind of tweener in with this kind of play action, because it takes a while. You're taking significant steps. I don't even know if I want to count it for us here. It'd be boring, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hitch. So you're taking an 8-step drop because you got an extra step to your left. You're going to be late on that intermediate thing. And again, so basically at the end of the day, what I'm saying is I would bet that Mike is short and he takes a bad angle at the top. And I would say if that's the case and it feels like that to Baker, don't throw it. Okay, but if I had to put a percentage of where the blame was to go on this, it would be the depth of the route and the top of the route. Now, if Mike is running it at the correct depth and Baker's throwing what he thinks is open, obviously we don't put the ball where we want. It's a little bit behind him. Okay, so the ball location is not there. But the depth of this route, you can't do an 8-step play action. It's got to be like 5 quick and throw on no hitch. So there's just too many disjointed elements, and it's, the outcome sucks. Next one here, 3rd and 6, coming out of the 2-minute at the end of the first half. We're going to throw it to Mike Evans, the number 2 up top. Now the number 1, he's going to run a short in up top. I want you to watch the angle that Mike comes out at. See how flat it is? That's a much better angle now. It's not the same type of route that we just saw in the interception, but the top of the route is so much better. And this is just a really nice job, again, playing a little bit of buddy ball, nice pocket feel, put it right on him. Again, if they're going to leave 13 one-on-one on 3rd down, you just got to keep letting him eat. This is one of those things where it's just too easy. You feel like you can't throw it fast enough. And again, I think Baker does a nice job here with his eyes, with whatever this read is here, to be able to come up and just say, and again, what I want you to watch is watch him come flat, right? There's no drifting up. And because he doesn't get his eyes there right away, it holds this kind of safety in the middle of the field, this little lurker or robber, to be able to come back and put it right on him, and the throw is perfect. So again, really watch Mike's top of the route as he comes flat down that 39 right there. See how flat it is? There's no drift. It's just a really nice job. Baker puts it right on him. Work in the middle of the field, working your number 1 wide receiver. It's just a really nice job of the construction of the offense, the execution on 3rd down, little pocket movement right on him. Let's go. Same drive, 3rd and 4, 92 seconds left to go. We're going to show Baker's wheels here. They're going to run a little version of what I call sail mesh. It's not there. Baker got some jets here. Accelerate away, get out of bounds, protect yourself. See how he goes full speed through the white. There's no slowing down on the boundary. It's not there to the left. The mesh isn't there. Get out and go. Then we've got some juice. We got some juice right there. Okay. I love it. Again, using your legs on third down. I really like this scheme as well. I think they run it where we're going to set that kind of deep one. Here comes that sail behind him where they almost like trail to run that sail. And then we're going to run some version of mesh here. So we got the mesh coming across. We got Mike coming across, settling up versus zone. It's not there. We got the check down out the back door. Baker decides to go, and he's able to use his legs for an easy first down. So watch that kind of sail pylon up top. Sail clear up top. Always love seeing Tampa versus Tampa. Not there. Great timing. And again, the juice right there. Get up, go, get a little mini chunk, get out of bounds, and stop the clock on third down. It's just a nice job. It's a nice wrinkle. You know, Baker's not necessarily like a true duel where you're going to have like quarterback run game for him, but he can get up and do this and get you a big first down when you need it. This next one is very lucky. This certainly should be an interception. We're going to force it to up top to Mike Evans, the number 2 up top on a little corner. I'm used to calling this a little smash China. This ball absolutely has to get to the backside in. Again, this is one of those things where it just feels predetermined from Baker. I get it. Mike's very good. You want to force feed him the ball. There's certainly a time and place for that, but that certainly should be intercepted up top. And again, what I'm used to calling this little version of smash right here from a condensed formation, you make it a little China with the return route right there. Okay. You cannot let this corner pick off a corner. So if he's getting depth, you either have to come down to the China or the loop or the return, or you've got to get to the backside end. And I think both have options here. But you cannot just decide, he's down there somewhere, I'll give him a chance. You just don't need to do that right here in this situation. So this certainly could and should be an interception. Again, you know what I'm going to say. If the corner could catch, you'd be playing offense, right? But still, that's interceptable. Okay, turnover worthy, however it hits you. And we just can't force feed it like that. Again, you can see that backside end coming right into our vision. So no to the left, back to the end. Whew, get lucky. Into the second half here. Second and long, 2nd and 13. Big touchdown to Mike Evans. He's the number 2 at the bottom. This is a scramble, an extend. Evans throws up the mailbox. Eventually Baker sees him, throws a dot on the move to his left. Mike's too big to be taken down with an arm tackle from the safety, and that's an easy touchdown. I don't know if there's necessarily easy, but big play touchdown. So for whatever reason, Baker doesn't like it. Right there, extend, create, eyes downfield, throw a nice ball right up on his chin. Great strength, great balance to stay in bounds, and the capacity to finish that thing. Big, big play. So again, you could make the argument that, potentially if he were to work down here initially, that the ball would go down here. It really doesn't matter. As he extends, the thing that I like about it, he's not looking to run. It looks like he's trying to point, get something going out here to his vision. He doesn't like it. He doesn't see it. He eventually sees Mike Evans right here. He's able to throw that ball, put it right where he wants, and then the safety just can't come up and make this play. You got to be able to wrap him up here. That's just terrible defense to allow this scramble play, which is a nice job from Baker and Mike, to then extend into a touchdown. It's just not good enough at any level, let alone the NFL. Swing and a miss, great strength, great balance, nice job striding out. And again, big time wide receiver, making big plays. But you've got to appreciate Baker not forcing it, right? Not predetermining it, trying to get out, create, extend, pointing people around. Eventually, his vision comes into play, sees Evans with the mailbox, and that's just a massive touchdown. And then at this point, the route is on. I love this touchdown up top. We're going to hit Mike Evans on the big post. Look at that 3 safety bullshit. Run right by him on the little Dino-ish thing. This is a dot, y'all. This is Baker balling. Simply outstanding job. Look at those 3 safeties. I love me some 3 safety bullshit, man. Defensive guys think they're getting so cute. Oh, we'll do 3 safeties. They won't know what coverage it is. Try that. We're going to throw it right out the back of your coverage. So again, who knows what this is? Great. Good luck. Okay. Big 12 action here. Okay. We're just going to run big time post, lean on him to the outside, over the top. Now this ends up being what I would classify as non-traditional Tampa, kind of like LOL NTT. So he's going to play the half field. He's going to play the half field. We got the curl, the hook, the curl, and then 2 flat players. Again, defensive guys just have too much time on their hands. This ain't it. This ain't it. Don't ever let Harbaugh see this again. Oh my God. It's just, and again, it's a beautiful job for Mike Evans. Watch him lean on this thing to the out or the 7, keep his stride and run right by him. And again, the ball is simply outstanding. Watch Baker throw this thing. What does he do? Right. He's throwing it right there. Again, the corner's technically still over the top of him, but you've got nobody in the middle of the field, right? With this bullshit coverage. Just thank you very much. And really both posts score, right? If you want to throw it to 17 down here to the bottom, everybody scores. I mean, 15 to the bottom too. We've got touchdowns all over the place. This is called bad defense. But that's a hell of a throw. That is a strike of a throw. String down the field, right on him. You know, how this guy continues to eat like this is how people get fired, if I'm being honest. That is a beautiful throw right up on his chin. Hell yes. Next one here, 3rd and 3. Mike Evans again. This time he's up top at the slot. I'm going to call this a little like angle Texas route. This really could go to the house. He's probably wearing too nice of a dry fit shirt there. We get zeroed. The green dog is way too late. Way too late. They got no chance to get home. Baker doesn't even get hit. And they are fortunate right there that that doesn't go to the house again. He's a big, strong dude to bring down with just a shirt. So what's going on here? We are going to run what I'm going to call a little angle route. He's going to come out and come back in. This is 0. And we're coming down here. One-on-one here. Or one-on-one here. One-on-one here. Technically bringing what I would classify as saw. And then here's the green dog. So he's got the back. Once the back engages and blocks, then he's going to add on as that kind of +1. Well, technically, in a green dog +1 situation, he's the guy who's unblocked. So he's got to get home. When he's coming from depth like this, I like to think of it as every 5 yards is a hitch. So you basically got your normal drop and a hitch because there's no way he can get home this quick. So he's even slow here where we've got all sorts of time to be able to make this happen. And really, there are big plays all over the place on this. Who knows what the Chargers are doing here pressure-wise. It's just never going to happen quick enough. Again, you can see the green dog. First, let's watch Mike's route up top. Watch him widen. And it actually causes the defenders to switch. They're banjoing this thing. So good luck with this. So they're going to banjo this. So as soon as he widens like this, they're going to pass this thing off. So now the safety's got the number 1. And the poor corner's got outside leverage versus Mike Evans running in like this. You just got, it's just going to be almost impossible. And really, they are fortunate that this isn't a touchdown. If you talk to Mike, he'd probably say, I expect to score on this play. And the pressure's never going to get home. So just putting the defense in all sorts of tough situations. They've great job scheme-wise, great job execution. 3rd down, situational ball, versus pressure, having the answers, playing at a high level, almost taking it to the house again. Yoo-hoo. Last one here, touchdown pass, screen to the back. Now, this is a check from Baker. So they probably got multiple plays called, or else he's got this audible versus specific look. It's the same pressure we just saw. That saw 0. Now, the beautiful thing here, besides for the effort to get into the touchdown, is just the operation at the line of scrimmage. The toolkit to be able to get to this, to see it, to communicate it. So whatever that is, alert, he's pointing out what's going on. Looks like a conductor back there. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. We're faking it to the back, throwing it to the back. The back has got someone covering a man-to-man, right? That green dog guy we talked about last time. So what this play is, post-check, is he's going to come out here and he's going to fake like he's blocking this guy. That's the play. Now, this middle linebacker has the back man-to-man. So when he comes over right here, if you just threw him the screen, he'd be there to tackle him. So we've got an uncovered offensive lineman. Okay, we're going to be blocking down, gap down. Whoever's uncovered is going to get out and cover this guy up. So we've got him blocked. So we got everybody blocked. And we've got our back, right, in space with this guy thinking he's going to get blocked. Now he's free runner to the quarterback. We just flip it to him. So it's just an excellent job of executing. Let's watch the back here as he bluffs and gets into the screen. So first the procedure. Great job from Baker. Yeah. Got you. Perfect look. Fake it to him. Whoop. A little fake slip screen. So fake it to him. Throw it to him. Baker's got to navigate the throw. Now watch the right guard get up on the backer. Up, out. And again, you don't even have to necessarily blunt him. You're at the line of scrimmage. He runs into you. Can't make the play, and then it's a great job from the back getting into the end zone. Nice job blocking downfield. Again, I think the thing I love most about this play is the capacity for Baker, the toolkit to be able to get into it, to communicate it, to see it, to execute it at a high level. I love screen passes down in that intermediate red zone area. Just a beautiful job. Great offense from the Bucs all day. So that is a wrap. Baker Mayfield, the Bucs rolling. Now, Mike Evans is an absolute monster beast. I really like the scheme that they've got going in with the Bucs right now. I thought Baker looked super decisive, like he's got answers to the test. I thought the final check to the screen touchdown was beautiful. The early touchdown on the schemed up pick rail was outstanding as well. There are big plays all over the place. Just a really fun offense to break down. I enjoyed watching Baker play. It's one of those things where when I feel like he knows what he's looking at and he's confirmed post snap and sees what he expects, things are beautiful. When he gets into trouble, it looks like, is sometimes he predetermines, like, okay, I'm going to throw this, I'm going to rip this, and it's not that post snap. That's the thing where I feel like if he can just learn to kind of dial those moments back and not make a bad play a disaster. They got a little bit lucky with the dropped interception right before half in this one. Again, a little bit off, I would imagine, on the details on that one interception. But beyond that, I mean, really love the aggressiveness, the accuracy, the precision. There's just a lot to like about this offense. Now, finally, last thing here, we're going to do a little bonus footage for you. So if you enjoyed the run game, I love me some run game. So if you enjoyed the run game, you enjoy this little counter clinic at the end of this thing, you probably really love the Patreon community. So try to hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate you. As for this video, that is a wrap. So we've got a little bonus footage for you. We're going to call this a little bonus clinic, counter clinic. Now, some teams call this stutter. It's counter to me. It's just a gap run to the right. I'll let it play once each time. We're only going to watch the offensive end zones. And then we'll come back and talk about it. But this is an absolute clinic tape for what I consider a great horizontal deuce displacement. So first thing here is the front side of this run. We'll talk about it. They get to this in the second half the same way multiple times. I'm not going to spend too much time on the shift, whatever. Let's talk about just how they're going to block this. So I'm going to call this C-gap counter. So this is where we're trying to run it to. Everybody inside of this to the play side. So gap down, gap down, gap down. Now, technically, it's gap down backer. So if you don't have someone in your gap down, you're going to have an opportunity for a horizontal displacement to the backer. So to the backside backer. So we're going to go all the way back here. So if it's guard center, this is called an ace. This is called a deuce. Okay, and this would be called a tray in most systems if that was the double team. So we're going to get a deuce to this guy right here. But it's not just a random double team. I prefer in gap runs for horizontal displacement, meaning we want to knock the shit out of this guy sideways. So whether you want to call it a gallop, a post and a gallop, whatever your verbiage technique is that you're trying to do, we're trying to get hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, knock the shit out of this guy to the left. Okay, and this is as good as it gets for a deuce horizontal displacement. I want you to really lock in on that. Okay, on the backside, we're going to get a kick out block in the C gap. And then we're going to get a backside wrap to the play side inside linebacker. Okay, so again, then on the backside tackle is going to do what I'm used to calling a gap hinge. So he's got the B gap to the hinge. And it doesn't really matter what the backside tight end is doing. Assume he's just out here. Then the front side here, because we've got a tight end, I'm used to calling this an influence arc. So he's going to influence like he's going to block this guy and then arc out to the backside. So the first thing here, and the real reason we're watching this, is because this is a murder deuce. And they do a great job of deucing this thing a few times. So watch that deuce block, the front side B gap. Get to the Gatorade. And that is displacing someone from the B gap to the A gap. Get the hell out of here. And then it's not good enough to just move him sideways. You got to climb to the backer. Boom, up. Okay, now let's watch the kick from the backside guard and the wrap. Boom, kick, up. So everybody gets blocked. The front side is perfectly blocked. So again, what that perfect block looks like is deuce block here, we're up. Influence out, we kick, and we wrap. And it's everyone is locked up. Center does a good enough job holding the backside A gap. It's simply, it's beautiful, man. This is beautiful football. Safety can't make the tackle, and it's a massive chunk play. So you run it like that, you're sure as hell going to do it again. So they do it a few more times here. Not all of them are that perfect. Again, this time, same shift. Same counter to the right. Okay, everything is the same. There's the deuce, up to the backer. Now again, it's still a pretty sweet deuce, right? Right guard, right tackle. He doesn't get quite the initial surge. He gets kind of 2 pumps on him, but he still gets up to the backside backer. Okay, so deuce, kick, wrap, big hole. This time, safety makes the tackle. Barely. Barely, right? I mean, it's the thing of beauty. Let's go. I love it so much. So real quick, see if you could draw this up in your mind. Okay. So we'll talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right to left. Influence arc. Okay. I always think of run plays as front side, back side. Okay. So front side, influence, arc block, gap down backer, gap down backer, gap down backer. We got nobody here. So we get an opportunity for a horizontal displacement. Deuce to whoever the hell that is. Right? Then we get a kick here in the C gap. Gap hinge. Wrap. It's beautiful. It is beautiful football. Oh, man. I love me some run game. Just a thing of beauty. If you like this kind of stuff, you probably like the Patreon community. I'm not going to lie. This is it right here. Look at that deuce block. Bam! Get up. Gets up to the second level, barely makes the tackle. Love it. Then the last one here is the same play, except now the guy that we're kicking out, 48 at the right C gap, he's going to spill this thing or wrong arm it. So that's going to cause a log. And then the back makes the wrong read, in my opinion. Okay, so same exact play, different technique at the point of attack. So everything is the same. I'm not going to sit here and regurgitate the influence arc, deuce, gap down, all that. What we're going to talk about is right here at the point of attack. So before I was saying this is a kick out block. Yeah, that's in a perfect world, but these guys play defense too. So if he decides to take his wrong arm, meaning his right arm, his outside arm, and rip through this thing, okay, and try to spill this thing, this block now turns into, instead of a kick, it turns into a log block, where you pretend just like a log, right? You roll him and try to pin him in. So the wrapper has to adjust. So the wrapper is following the kick. It turns into a log. He still comes outside the log. Now, the thing I would tell the back here is to follow the wrapper. So at the end of the day, whatever the aiming point is, it really doesn't matter. You're going to do whatever this guy does. So if he follows a log block, so if we get that block, we're coming out, we're anticipating a kick, but we get a spill, right? He wrong arms that thing. We spill that thing. Okay. What does the wrapper do? If the wrapper turns up and kicks someone out, we got to follow the hip of that guy. We want to be right behind him, and that's the hole. We're not going to just bounce this thing sideways. Okay, you bounce that thing sideways, you turn into a punt returner. And you can get anybody off the bleachers to do this. Okay, so follow the wrapper. First, let's watch the spill kick. So there's the wrong arm, right? Watch that defensive end. Up, wrong arm. Spill. Great. Now we're going to follow the wrapper, follow 41, patience. He kicks out right there. You got to go up. You got to go right, vertical right there. We talk a lot on the Patreon community about running through common color. Okay, this is common color. You got to have the capacity to put your foot in the ground and get vertical right there. And again, easy for me to say with a marker and a clicker and a clinic days later, but get vertical here and it's an even better run. Love me some counter.